I've got some stupid ideas to try out today, so let's get to it. Hell requires some more housing to be placed down, which will mean that we will need some more space to place them down onto, which we do have some potential space up here that we can expand out onto. There is maybe just a few issues with that. So before we do unblock the stairwell there to head up to that new area, there are a few things that I will need to take care of. The first one being kitting our guards out with some better armour, which is plate armour that our blacksmith should now be able to make for them. Yes, here are the recipes for them here, which are just simply iron ingots, leather and coal. So I am going to request that the blacksmith actually make us some of these parts and then deliver them to us. And I can already see the blacksmith hard at work making us those parts. Brilliant. So it's really not before long until we start getting in some of those parts then, which has some pretty similar stats to netherite actually. They are really not too bad at all. Although I do think that these will look a lot better on our guards than they do on myself. And we have some very handy guards right beside us, so give me the iron ones there and I will replace them with some plate armour, which does look a lot better on the guards certainly. So I will head around to all of the barracks tower guards here and recall them all to then upgrade their armour to plate armour. And in fact, I could make my life so much simpler and have my guards come to me for me to kit them out by assigning them to this rallying banner. That's the guards then assigned to the rallying banner, so let's rally them to my location. And whenever they come, I will then just simply outfit them here with some new armour. Lovely stuff, chaps. Right, who needs an upgrade? Speaking of upgrades actually, thank you Adeline for upgrading our dyer's hut. And also chaps, can we maybe do something about this? No, potions do not help. But now with most of the guards kitted out with their new armour, it's time to move on to the next part. So I will once again rally the troops to my aid, and then we will clear the way to this new area to expand out onto. And it looks as if that most of us are here with our new armour on. But let's head up chaps, we've got some nasties to take care of. Well, whenever I say we, I actually mean you. That's a lot more like it. Lovely stuff. Well, as they head away and protect me from small innocent piglin children, what I am going to then do is place down a postbox and stash, and then I'm going to request a few warp stems as well as slabs, as well as a few lava buckets actually. Let's get 10 to begin with. And they have immediately been placed into the open request list for me to sort for them. However, I do know of a build who can get us some lava buckets. Right chaps, appreciate the help at the moment, but you are dismissed. I will be back shortly. For now, we are making a very quick, short trip to the nether miner. And we don't have a worker currently assigned to this build at the moment, for reasons unknown. So, student Flora, you are now going to be our new nether miner. So get your ass straight back over here then Flora, and hopefully you can make us these lava buckets, which she should be able to do for us because she does know the recipe for it. And I can see that she is now making those for us. Perfect. And I will just simply store those away for now until I require them a little bit later on. Hello chap. But for the time being then, let's continue on and start placing down some houses within this area. So we will place in the normal warped styled houses that we are used to, and I think the one here is not too badly placed, so we will begin with it. But alongside those warped style houses, I have actually come up with my own type of house. Introducing the Crimson style house, which you will never believe where I managed to get the design of this from. So this is a Crimson style house at tier 1, and we will just slowly go up all of the tiers through it. And yes, basically all we have done is change the warped wood that we have and replaced it with crimson wood, as well as some warped blocks. But I do think that our crimson style of houses will sit very nicely right beside our warped style ones. And thank you very much, Julia, for upgrading our blacksmith. It's at least something a bit different here, so let's also go ahead with these type of styles. And I am struggling a little bit here with all of the guards pushing me out of the way constantly, but at least myself and the builder who's out constructing this at the moment will be nice and safe. I will also place in a few guard towers around here for maybe obvious reasons. I do not have a crimson style for these yet, which is unfortunate, but maybe in time. For now though, let's just try get some of them placed around here. Although placing the guards tower here where I want it to be will maybe cause a bit of a headache underneath with all of that netherrack. I could maybe just remove that whenever this does get up to tier 5. Come to think of it, I hope some of these other builds that I've placed in don't have the same basement issue. And that's really unfortunate, Dominic, but that's kind of what happens whenever you bounce into me, I'm afraid, son. And Julia was just killed to a mob, and there's Adeline going to be next. So much for these guards doing a good job up here then, eh? That is actually quite irritating, because I actually quite liked Julia. Anyway, moving on. Let's maybe start clearing out some of the mess around here and getting some slabs placed down to stop these nasty buggers from spawning in. Can't really do much about those chaps though. And our undertakers have just resurrected Dominic there. What a shame they won't do the same with Julia though. Oh, and hello Dominic. You have taken over the job from Julia then, I see. Nicely done, son. An archer to a builder in one day. I am actually quite glad that I have these guards up here at the moment, otherwise this would just be an absolute bloody mess. So we will of course get up a few more different houses in this area, just so that we stop getting so many homeless citizens within hell here at the moment. But alongside that, I would also like to place in some different decorations up in this new area as well, if possible. Just because hell really hasn't been much in the way of decorated. I mean, we understand why that is the case, of course. But I do have some ideas of some potential decorations that I would like to place down, which does include that lava. So this is the main part of this new area that we are building in, and we're not going to have too many different builds up, just a few houses and any other decoration that I can think about, maybe a well or something like that. But we have this little section here, which I will convert into some stairs that will take you up here to another area which we could potentially build some more things up onto, as well as maybe have some form of pathway down to this little section here, where again we can maybe place in some different housing and other type of builds as well. I am thinking of maybe placing in another hospital and maybe another restaurant up here as well, just to kind of cater to the industry district as well. But we will really need to take this nice and slow here, because the mobs are spawning in a lot faster than I was anticipating, and they really have taken on our newly upgraded guards by quite a bit here actually. I definitely don't see as many guards anymore. And damn, that was quick. That's Adeline already constructed the warped style house. Well done, pal. Let's get you straight back out here and upgrading this to tier 2 next. As for Dominic, he's not doing just as well, I think. I certainly think we might need to get you some featherfall enchant, son. You are really not having a good day with heights at all here, are you? But that is why I do put up these safety railings to stop our idiots from falling off things. Alright then, well, this is now looking a lot better here, albeit a bit dark. So let's maybe do something about that. And this is then where our lava comes into play. Right chaps, you may want to stand back for this part because I have not tested this before and I am more than certain that this is not going to work. So I am going to remove some of these slabs at the moment, just heading all the way up here, which is about halfway through this place, so halfway on either side of this path. And then I will carefully mine out just one layer underneath. So we now have this ridge full of idiots, and I am more than certain that one of them is at least going to burn to death here. But if I put in the lava and stop him from being burned, then put these cyan glass on top if I can, then I am wondering if this could maybe then potentially act as some form of lighting for us. Why am I even bothering doing any of this? And Adeline has finished upgrading the house to tier 2 just as someone else starts to set themselves on fire there. Brilliant. What's happening with Dominic and my crimson style house though? He is just awaiting in a cyan bed at the moment for that upgrade. That's fine, I will allow the colony to continue getting him those items. As for us though, I think we will maybe leave this little lighting venture for the moment until I get up some more lava to help with that. And maybe now let's move on and create some stairs heading up the way. And to be fair, these are always normally quite nice and simple to make. Normally being the operative word here. Usually I don't have a whole army of idiots following me, and that's not looking too bad at all, if you could see them. So we will continue the stairs just down the way then into this new area. And I have also seen that Dominic has finally received in his bed. So this should flag off as complete very, very soon. Oh, well, there it is. Right, good job then Dominic. Straight back out here then and upgrade this to tier 2. And I will need someone to come out and upgrade this to tier 3 actually. Let's get someone out to do that for us. I also think I will maybe put this down another block or two, just so that we don't have this kind of hill having to go over it. I will deal with that a bit later. We will place in this big well next, and after it's constructed, we will then nether it up by putting a lot of kind of warped and crimson items into it. But for now, let's just go ahead with it. The hospital is quite a large build actually, but I could place it here, and the basement of it would then save me having to do a lot of terraforming of this area. Let's check the back of it before going ahead with it. Yes, that will fit there pretty nicely actually. Okay, we will go ahead with that then, and we will build ourselves a second hospital. And I will set another one of my crimson house styles just behind the hospital, with enough room here for a path. Yep, let's go with that. And we will follow that up with another normal warped house just right beside all of that. It's fitting in here pretty nicely, so yep. I can't remember if we have anything further up here. Nope, just a dead end with this part, so that's grand. No mobs should spawn there, hopefully. But just in case any do, we will place in yet another guard's tower, just to look after this little area then. And that is then this bottom half pretty much then taken care of, I think. So, up the stairs now, and let's get some more mobs slaughtered, so we can then expand out a bit further. We've certainly maybe had a death or two up here. You know what, I think this is maybe where we will stop the expansion of our new territory here, and we will maybe just see if we can fit in the restaurant. If we are needing some more space, we could expand out over into the forests over there, but honestly, this has been enough of an adventure today so far. Let's maybe just see what we can do up here. The second restaurant can fit so very nicely just into this area here, so we will go with that. And we'll stick yet another guard tower just right beside it, and I think that's pretty much all of the builds that I want to get up and constructed on this top part. Regardless though, I will now need to do a bit of clearing up and a bit of slab placing. Well, we have once again jumped forward a little bit, just to ensure that we do make some good progress here today, which we most certainly have. So cue the nice Heaven Tour music, and let's show you what we've done. To start with, we now have this lava lightway working a bit better for us. No longer a hill that we need to go over, just a little trench instead. And to the back here, we now have up the two different styles of housing, our traditional warped house and the new crimson house. And already we have some citizens living within them, which is absolutely ideal. We have the guards tower just behind as a little bit of protection, and we have some decoration around here as well. We have the well now up and constructed, and we have replaced the wood with some warped wood, as well as the shingles with some gilded blackstone, similar to our graveyard district. The hospital is now up and at tier 5, and already has been quite busy with a lot of sick guards who have come into it. Although I don't see anyone in here at the moment, but it will certainly be quite handy for any guard who does get hurt on the job. We have another guards tower created with some rather lovely nether themed decorations beside it. Normally there would be water flowing within this, but we're in hell after all, so why not? And just to the back, we have yet another two large houses built up, so we certainly do have plenty of housing choices for our idiots. The stairwell along here will then take you up onto the second floor, where we now have up the restaurant at tier 5, and a guard's tower just to protect it right beside. There is a small little mezzanine section, I suppose you could call it, for our citizens to come out and look at all of the nasties who cannot get into this area. Not much of a view, but it is something, I suppose. I have tried out a few different decoration ideas here, so we just have some columns of water and lava, which don't do a damn thing but are decoration. Speaking of decoration, I really am struggling to find anything for hell, so we will maybe borrow this Buddha statue from heaven. At least it is made of nether quartz, so still has some of a nether theme ring to it. But yes, I am quite happy with this new area that we have expanded out onto. I will consider if we put in this type of lighting for the rest of our colony, because it certainly has done the trick here, although this little bumping motion going over it is a bit irritating. Overall, from how this area first started here today, we have made some significant progress with it, and we've got some more housing up. That was definitely what was needed. So it's been a pretty long building process here for me today, but I think the results are definitely worth it, especially for here in Hell. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.